wish to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2023, Mr. Garrett Grangenet, son of John and Megan Grangenet.
That's awesome. Mr. Brainiac.
Basketball, track, FBLA, FCA, junior mates, and National Honor Society. His future plans include attending Concordia University in Seward to major in biology. Mr. Garrett Grangenet.
Good afternoon. Members of the Board of Education, Mr. Levaz, Mr. Golden, members of the faculty and staff, parents, guests, and most importantly, the class of 2023. Someone very wise once told me, when making a speech, be bold, be brief, be seated. I'm going to follow his advice today. In William Shakespeare's play, Hamlet, the main character says, "There's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so." That profound statement over 400 years ago is my message to you today. I believe Hamlet was onto something. Things just are. Too often we quickly assign labels to things we like or dislike. We don't have a bad 24 hours. We have a bad 2 minutes. In games, we've all made bad plays. In music, we've all messed up our lines. At work, we've all messed up. For us seniors, we've all bombed tests. As humans, we tend to focus on 1% of bad instead of 99% of good. But labeling events subjectively like that carries a risk. Once we label it good or bad, it's hard to focus on how we can learn from the experience and grow. We strictly focus on whether it's good or bad. If someone bumps into you while walking down the street and calls you every name in the book, are you going to quit walking because you had a bad experience? Or will you shrug it off and keep working down your path? As we now head off to college, the workforce, the military, we have to remember and acknowledge we might not do as well on the test as we had hoped. Instead of beating ourselves up, take it as an opportunity to improve. There are many things we can't prevent from happening. Stuff will happen, and we have a choice. The choice to label things as good or bad, or we can live in the present. We can redirect our perspective from obsessive negative thoughts to think more positively and productively. Tying into this, I like the story of a farmer. There was a farmer and his son. One day their horse, who they relied heavily on, ran away. The townspeople came out and said, "This is tragic," and the farmer said, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse came back and with it a dozen wild horses they could all use on the farm. And the townspeople came out and said, "This is amazing," and the farmer said, "Maybe." The farmer's son was trying to train one of the wild horses and he broke his leg. The townspeople again said, "This is tragic," and the farmer said, "Maybe." In the following days after the son broke his leg, the army came out recruiting for the war, and they passed over his son because of his broken leg. The town celebrated and thought it was a great thing that the son could stay home, and the father said, "Maybe." The whole point of this story is perspective of your situation is powerful, and never forget the importance of it. My fellow classmates of 2023, we know one thing for sure, life is uncertain. We never really know how situations will turn out, good, bad, or otherwise. Keep that in mind as we leave Waterloo High School today with our diplomas to encounter new situations, forge new friendships, and experience new opportunities. I'm thankful for the situations, friendships, and opportunities these last 4 years have given me. I'm grateful for the highs and lows of high school, and I hope everyone the best moving forward. With that in mind, remember what philosopher Alan Watts said. You never know what will be the consequences of the misfortune, and you'll never know what will be the consequences of good fortune. This makes life all that more interesting. Thank you.